a scene which tourists from all over the world are familiar with and love. In South Africa, any five-star hotel or lodge with its select patrons in mind will put on a concert for the guests, incorporating the traditional music and dancing, and if you are in the Cape, the wine of the area. But this performance is a little different. It is taking place at Ikaya, a bed and breakfast in Galeshewe, a township just outside of Kimberley in the Northern Cape. This complex of 8 rooms and an entertainment area has been made possible by a loan from the Industrial Development Corporation. The IDC has been providing financial partnerships to South African businesses for close on 70 years now. It's been involved in the tourism industry for the past 13 and recognizes the immense contribution that this sector makes to South Africa's GDP and that it continues to grow. The Tourism Strategic Business Unit is now a vital part of its streamlined operations, with investments throughout South Africa and beyond the country's borders. And contrary to what many people believe, these investments are not only in the huge projects.
I think in my day, I would spend probably 70 or 80% just looking at small and medium enterprises, looking at those business plans, seeing how we can assist them. We do anything from about R1 million upwards. It's not the micro businesses, but certainly the small and medium.
The current book exposure of this unit stands at about 1.1 billion rand for 125 clients, with a third lying with BEE transaction deals. And while there is demand throughout Africa for both the leisure and corporate type hotel businesses, tourism in South Africa is now recognized as an industry that can help with job creation. But to those in the know, it is not an easy way to make money, and the requirements for loans are rigorously applied.
We need to make sure up front that it's a robust business plan that you've put forward. We place a lot of emphasis on management, because really, once we've written the check, we're not there. We're not going to be the operator and assist you with running the business. So we need to know that the management team have got what it takes to be successful in this part of the industry.
The economic viability of the project is most important. The owner needs to make a contribution, usually between 40 and 50%, and there has to be some form of security. And whilst BEE applications may qualify for some reduction in owner's contribution, the minimum loan amount is 1 million rand. These are tough requirements, but not too tough for Fenti Fentela, the owner of Ikaya and an entrepreneur who had been having problems in securing a loan for his business from the local banks.
The banks have seen the place as dilapidated. There's no investment in this area. There's also no future investments in this area. And I think it's from that point that they didn't want to get involved in the area. So for them the risk was too high. And also what I'm doing here currently is quite a new concept, you know, and people wasn't comfortable with it. So I had to look for other investors, and that was the route that I followed to get IDC involved.
With preference being given to financing fixed assets and projects that have a developmental impact in the form of job creation, empowerment and urban and township development, Ikaya fitted the bill. With tourism currently contributing 7.4% to the GDP and being one of the sectors that can provide jobs to people across the board, the IDC has a very important financial role to play, particularly in BEE.
One of the critical elements is small business development, medium and small. And that is where, from a financing point of view, in terms of the opportunities that are coming out of the tourism industry, IDC is therefore then my partner to be able to finance some of these opportunities that are coming up.
And one of those financing opportunities recently came up with a unique Black Economic Empowerment deal involving the Protea Hotel Group and NAWA, a national women's investment company.
One of our objectives as NAWA is to invest in sectors where there's going to be job creation, also where we can add value and also be able to create opportunities out of an opportunity. For instance, like Protea, we see we see ourselves creating other opportunities for our shareholders from the Protea transaction, the Protea investment.
NAWA has 1,000 shareholders, all women. It sees investment in the Protea Hotel Group as a way to make significant changes in the way Protea approaches its marketing, such as encouraging black holidaymakers and a way for more black women to get involved.
We can get more black women involved in the industry by way of, the B&Bs where we want to link up the B&Bs to Protea. Also in the hotel industry itself, Protea itself, in terms of management, you probably do have some women managers, but we would like to see women general managers, which you don't have at the moment. There are no women on the Protea board, so we're bringing that element.
In line with the requirement that projects should have a development thrust, the IDC put NAWA through the mill when it came to approval for the investment.
The IDC wants to know how you're going to add value to the investment. They also want to know if you are going to participate actively in the company you're investing in, because that is very important, and we're going to do that. And how you're going to pay back the loan.
The Tourism Business Council is the umbrella organization of the South African tourism industry, and it believes the role of the IDC is crucial in building up the ability and sustaining the reputation that this country has for being a unique travel destination at the southern tip of Africa.
We can't be on our own as South Africa, and IDC, with their mandate to also support Southern Africa and up into Africa, is very useful. It helps us even to look at uniform quality assurance issues, uniform service issues, uniform ways of doing things, and a funder like IDC playing that role really is very useful in Southern Africa.
But there are sometimes hiccups in the system, and the IDC does admit that the process is a lengthy and very detailed one. In the past, it has been difficult to quantify exactly what tourism has brought to the country, but there are now up-to-date facts and figures, and that has made it easier for the financial institutions to become less risk-averse in terms of this industry.
What we have been able to do, not only to IDC, I must say, but many other financial institutions, but IDC in particular, is to be able to put all this data on their table, to be able to say that this is quantifiable, that if you invest in a hotel, we know what the occupancy rate of that particular hotel is. We know what is the average spend per day, and we know what is the likely return on that particular investment. So we can be able to engage with them in very, very, very clear terms.
With financial instruments structured to fit the cash flow and risk profile of any business, the IDC provides market-related interest on a 5 to 12-year term loan. And as long as the borrower has a suitable combination of security and contributions, a plan can be made.
This is my everything. What if went into this project? It's everything that I had. So I should be scared, but I believe in what I'm doing. And I'm very comfortable with the support that I have at the moment. But yes, I think it's a challenge for banks and for other financial institutions to take the risk with upcoming businesses, emerging businesses. We shouldn't just invest in places where there's already a lot of activity happening. I mean, somebody has to start. So if I've never started, I mean, nobody would have done that.
But for any business to succeed, there has to be a sense of financial security. And for the tourism entrepreneurs who have dealt successfully with the IDC, there has been no looking back. And in the case of NAWA, no thinking of anyone else.
No, I don't think we could. Mainly because IDC is known to be very active in the tourism industry. So it is obviously, when you're looking at tourism, anything in tourism and in hospitality, it is the best financier to go to. Also, the money is not as expensive.